Good evening and welcome to the 2021 Motorsport Australia State Awards for Western Australia. A big thank you to our partners at Shannons Insurance. We appreciate all of your ongoing support. My name's Cameron Vanden Dungen and I'm here at Motorsport Australia headquarters amongst the Australian Motorsport Hall of Fame. And what a wonderful place to celebrate a huge year in Western Australian motorsport. Congratulations to all of the people tonight who will be recognised for your efforts and achievements. But I wanted to pay a special thanks and acknowledgement to all of the loved ones that have helped support you, to all of our wonderful volunteer officials up and down the coast of the west of Australia. Thank you for all of your efforts, and we acknowledge you tonight, not just our winners, but for those of you that put in any effort throughout the course of the year. It's greatly appreciated. Before we do get started though, I'll acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we are meeting and gathering here tonight. I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past, present and those emerging. It's been a huge year in motorsport and we have got as much live event action as we could. But the reality is the pandemic is still here. That's why we are doing this virtual awards ceremony tonight. The big thing I want you to take away though is that the team at Motorsport Australia are working tirelessly to ensure live event motorsport continues throughout 2022 and into 2023. And who knows, with a little bit of luck and a lot of effort, we'll make sure we meet in person for the next awards ceremony next year. But tonight's a night of celebration. And before we start handing out awards and acknowledging various recipients, I'd like to go now to our Motorsport Australia President, Andrew Fraser.
Thanks, Cameron, and it's good to be with you all tonight. I also want to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we gather and acknowledge the original and enduring kinship with that land. Can I say it's wonderful to be with you tonight, albeit virtually, and we are looking forward to a time in the near future, hopefully, when it's open to us to gather in person. But in the meantime, thanks for joining in tonight. And thanks in particular to all of you in Western Australia for the work that you've done to keep motorsport going in your state. While other places had very different restrictions, much greater restrictions in terms of what they could do, obviously in Western Australia, many of you were able to keep the sport going at a grassroots level. And we look forward, perhaps during the course of this year, for a time when we can join up motorsport in the country and national championships can include Western Australia, and indeed Western Australians can be much more readily included in national championships. Here's hoping. On a night like tonight, when we are celebrating the sport, also good to perhaps throw in some of the hard numbers of the work that we've done with EY to put a value on motorsport around the country. And from a Western Australian perspective, it's good to share those numbers with you. Some of you may have seen this or read about it, but perhaps tonight a good idea just to plant those numbers in your mind. So when we did the work, in fact, what we saw was that the value of motorsport in Western Australia to the Western Australian economy was a bit over $315 million. So $315 million in gross economic output is nothing to be sneezed at, and that supports a bit over 1,800 jobs. So we know why it's important as a sport, but to see and hear about the economic impact, I think, is important to hear about also for all of you. So awards nights like tonight aren't possible without the support of our partners. And of course, tonight's awards for the 2021 year are supported by Shannons Insurance. Shannons Insurance have been a really long-standing and loyal partner for motorsport in this country. They've stood by us over the last couple of years of pandemic, and we're really grateful for their support tonight and into the future. And we look forward to working with them on many things well into the future. So tonight's also an opportunity just to mention a few things from the board table at Motorsport Australia about the sport in general. A big focus for us as we look to the year ahead is on facilities. The reality is that without the sort of facilities that we have in many places and we want to have in many places, our sport can't function. Other sports can obviously get a bit of relatively level dirt and a ball and get a game underway, but for our sport, we need something more than that. And so making sure that we protect our existing facilities, that we get the sort of investment and upgrades to existing facilities, and most importantly, plan for new facilities for the future is a real focus for us. That's requiring us to work more closely with governments at all levels, whether from councils or state and at a federal level. And that's something that we've been working hard on over the last little while and finding that we are getting more success, getting more funding into the sport from governments and motorsport getting its fair share. That's something that we want to keep working at, and that's a state-by-state proposition. And so we are looking to work with all governments on that front. For us, when it comes to working with government to get that funding into our sport, then government obviously has expectations. They've got their own requirements, and the community has its own expectations. And one area where we are seeing a lot of change is on sustainability. We need to make sure that as a sport that we are not just part of the problem, but indeed, I think we can be part of the solution. If you look at things like safety, where the innovations in motorsport have driven a lot of the safety uplifts that have then flowed through into the broader car industry, into the cars that we all drive each day, then also the same story can be said about sustainability, driving efficiency, driving some of the world's most efficient engines, and the technology that's been developed in motorsport, both in Australia and globally, in things like hybrid technology that you now see in mainstream automobiles and cars. There's a role for motorsport here to be part of the solution. But we also need to look at what that means for the sport more generally. I don't envisage a future anytime soon where all motorsport is electrified, but I also think we can't sit here and pretend that things won't change. So for me, a big part of that is about sustainable fuels, how we can keep the essence of motorsport. And that means the sights, the sounds, and even the smell of the motorsport that we all love. And so looking at partnerships around where we can be part of the solution for finding more sustainable fuels to meet that sustainability challenge that we can see coming down the pipeline at us is a big focus for us strategically as we look ahead. For us, one of the other things that is a real focus is on the officials front, on the participants front. Everywhere I go, in every track, whether it's at Morgan Park or at a hill climb or at a supercars event, the same story about I hear from our volunteers and from participants. How do we get more people involved? How do we get young people involved? How do we get more women and girls involved? And so for all of you, that starts with those of you who are interested in the sport and giving your time to it, but it also falls to the board and to the management team to make sure that we are encouraging people from all walks of life. As I said, more women and girls, and also people from different backgrounds. I just want to make a particular shout out to the Racing Together initiative, which some of you may have heard about, an all-Indigenous race team supported by Gary and Monique Connolly. Many of you will know Gary has been a long-time servant of motorsport in this country, and that initiative is the sort of example, the sort of undertaking that really provides the leadership to increase the tent for people to be involved in motorsport at all levels. Finally, a quick word on safety. We all have an obligation to ourselves, whether we're on the track or on a circuit or in whatever form of motorsport, the safety obligation we owe to each other to try and make our sport, which we know the excitement and thrill that comes from the very essence of motorsport. We've got to make sure that we use all that we can to be the safest we can be. So I like to talk about managed risk that's fit for purpose for motorsport, whether that's, as I said, on a circuit or in another environment. And that means having the right leadership, having the right technology and the right rules in place to make sure that we can make motorsport as safe as it can be. We are making some changes on that front, more changes to come. And as ever, that's the first obligation for those of us at Motorsport Australia. Finally, as we look to 2022, well, it feels like for a long time we've all been talking about when normal will return. Well, maybe there is no such thing as normal anymore, but as we do look ahead, we can be optimistic. We can see that there will be the capacity for more events, for a return to something that approximates normal. And for all of us who love to get to a circuit, to get out in a forest or to hurl along a desert track, that's not too far away. That's happening now, and hopefully 2022 sees a lot more of it happening. I'm personally optimistic about what the year will bring for our sport, from whether that's the return of the Grand Prix finally to, at the other end of the spectrum, one of the victims of the pandemic, of course, has been our National Auto Test Championships. So this year, looking forward to seeing Motorcana, Carnacross, Hill Climb all back on the agenda, as well as the state championships. So as we look ahead, reasons to be optimistic and reasons, as ever, for us to keep our eye on the ball and make sure that we do lead well and that we do keep motorsport strong in this country. Finally, to each and every person in the room, thanks for what you do. Thanks for what you contribute to the sport that we all love. It's the people in the room tonight who do make up the sport, who make motorsport happen. I'm personally grateful for the ability to be involved, and I'm grateful to all of you for what you contribute. So congratulations to all the award winners, and have a good evening. Back to you, Cameron.
Thank you, Andrew. I agree. It's going to be a huge year in motorsport. Well, from Motorsport Australia's president, let's go to the WA State Council Chair, Wendy Walker.
Good evening. I'm Wendy Walker and I'm the new State Council Chair for WA, and I'd like to welcome you to our WA State Awards presentation. Being as it's virtual this year, it's a very different feel for us. I think being in a room on your own doesn't have the exact same pizzazz and celebratory feel. Unfortunately, this is something that we have to do and possibly get used to this year. But thinking of it as a positive, gentlemen, if you don't like dressing up in a suit and all that, attire, you could just wear a nice shirt, wear your board shorts and your thongs or your loafers, and unless you have to stand up and do a speech, who's actually going to know? So that might be a good thing for you. And women, some of us don't like to put on makeup and wear all those nice gear, others do. However, it gives you the opportunity to just feel very comfortable in your own space and enjoy the evening that we have unfolding. So thank you for attending. Whilst the Eastern States had quite a lot of challenges last year for their motorsport year, WA remained fairly unscathed. We were able, with the help of our hardworking race directors, clerks of courses, race secretaries, flag marshals, road closures and other officials, I'm sorry if I forgot some of the big ones, we were able to run 105 events. So I really would like to thank all of those officials that made that happen, because that's a very difficult thing to do, even with our COVID return to race rules. Last year we saw a couple of, I think, highlights that we've had was Girls on Track was new last year, and we had a few more entries of women in our rally championship. So it's really good to see women getting involved in this great sport of ours, and look forward to seeing many more this year. We probably will face some challenges this year. We do have a full calendar, and unless the borders stay closed, which I guess we're all hoping it won't, we should be able to run the supercars and the round of the Australian Rallying Championship, which is involved with the Forest Rally. So we look forward to be able to run our full calendar. I'd just like to thank you all for attending tonight, and please enjoy and celebrate your wonderful achievements in 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendy. Now it's time to jump into the first awards for this evening, as we recognise those who took on and conquered their respective state championships. First up, let's congratulate our 2021 Western Australian Motorcarna champions, William Bennett and Jim Newell.
Hello everyone. I'd like to start by thanking Motorsport Australia for this award. It's been a great effort to get motorsport of all kinds back to some sort of normality in these unusual times. 2021 was a great year for myself. With the former champ, Dad, missing a couple of rounds, I knew this was a great opportunity to step up to the plate. A massive congratulations to Jim as well. He's always been a benchmark and is a great mentor, as well as being one of the toughest competitors when he's in with a chance of a win. A few more thank yous are due to the officials who are there every event, spending 6 hours in the same spot so us drivers can take part in 3 minutes of competitive driving. To the Motorcarna WA family and the Mini Car Club doing all the work behind the scenes, and my family for introducing me to this sport. It's Dad, Mum, Nan, Amy, James, Rachel, and lastly Pop, who built 3 turbine specials with his mates back in 1982, and at least one of those has won the state championship in every year since, as well as countless national titles. So this one's for Pop. Hopefully we can continue the success into the future. Cheers.
I would like to express my very sincere thanks to all the organisers and officials from the Mini Car Club. of WA who made the 2021 Motorcarna Championship possible. As always, the championship was well organised and run, and it is a very enjoyable championship to compete in. I thank all those who competed in the championship, and I congratulate all this year's class winners. In particular, I congratulate William Bennett, who shares this title with me this year. William is a young person of the highest quality, and I very much enjoyed competing against him this year. With young people of his quality involved, motorcarnas are guaranteed to remain a highly respected discipline of motorsport. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to you both. Also on your screens tonight, please find the rest of our Motorcarna winners, and what a superb year it was. WA Motorcarna Championship First Lady Driver, Amy Bennett. The WA Motorcarna Championship First Junior Driver, Patrick Duffy. WA Motorcarna Championship First Novice Driver, also Patrick Duffy. Next, it's your 2021 WA Rally Champion, the outright winner, John O'Dowd, and our 2021 outright co-driver. Please congratulate Tony Fever. It certainly was a terrific and tight battle for the championship this year. Well done, John and Tony. In the other classes, it's my pleasure to welcome the WA Rally Championship two-wheel drive winner, Gary Mills, and the two-wheel drive championship co-driver, Mitchell Gray.
Hi everybody, Gary Mills and Mitch Gray here from West Australia. We are the two-wheel drive state champions for the year. We had a fantastic year. It's just great to get competing through these tough times. I know some of the people over east weren't as fortunate. Don't really have much to say, but we just like to thank, I suppose, all the car clubs and everybody that makes it possible for us to go out and do these events. Marshals, all the timekeepers, all the safety people, thank you very much. Personally, a big thanks to Mitch here. Fantastic, very professional, really great help all year. Massive thanks to all our sponsors and everybody that helped us out. BMG Autos, they run the car and look after it, and it's just fantastic. And all being well, we can get the budget together. We hope to be out there next year again, fighting for the championship again. Thank you.
Yes, big thanks to everyone who putting on the events, volunteers. A lot of wet events this year, so standing in the rain wasn't all that fun, but hopefully we put on a show for them and see everyone out again this year.
Let's now congratulate our rising stars in the WA Rally ranks. Please, would you all join me in congratulating our Rookie of the Year driver, Ali Aslam. And tonight's Rookie Co-Driver of the Year, well done to Camden Pusey. A huge congratulations to all our winners, and well done on an amazing year. Next, it's time to go off-road. First up, it's our 2021 Western Australian Off-Road Championship winner, and the outright driver title goes to Jaden Brewer. A terrific season, Jaden, well done. And your WA Off-Road Championship outright co-driver for 2021, staying in the Brewer family, it's Justin Brewer. Now it's time to acknowledge all our class winners from the 2021 Off-Road Championship, and here they are. Pro Buggy winner, driver Ken Stiles. Pro Buggy winner, co-driver Josh Ellis. Pro Light Buggy winner, driver Jared Percival. Pro Light Buggy winner, co-driver Hayley Cowling. Extreme Two-Wheel Drive winner, driver Harley Urin. Extreme Two-Wheel Drive winner, co-driver Kerry Yaxley. Performance Two-Wheel Drive winner, driver Matthew Beck. Performance Two-Wheel Drive winner, co-driver Tate Dawson. Side-by-Side Turbo winner, driver Jaden Brewer. Side-by-Side Turbo winner, co-driver Justin Brewer. Production Four-Wheel Drive driver Nick Jennings. Production Four-Wheel Drive co-driver Sebastian Jennings. Sports Light winner, driver Dion Visagi. Sports Light winner, co-driver Jamie Tilbrook. Extreme Four-Wheel Drive winner, driver Pierre Horn. Extreme Four-Wheel Drive winner, co-driver Jim Ingham. Congratulations everyone, a pleasure to celebrate your successes this evening. Now, let's move to the 2021 Western Australia Speed Series winner. Would you please join me in congratulating John Webb. Nice work, John, and well done to all our award winners. To this point of the night, it's certainly been a pleasure to celebrate our winners so far, and there's still plenty more to come. But first, let's take a look at some of the highlights from Australian motorsport in 2021. Wow, 2021 certainly had its challenges, but there's no doubt we still witnessed some amazing motorsport moments in the last 12 months. We can't wait to see what's in store for us in 2022. Well, let's move straight into the next awards for the evening as we celebrate our circuit champions for 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, our first state circuit championship winner, our 2021 HQ Holdens champion, Mick Woodbridge. And our saloon cars in the EA and VN category, 2021 champion, Brock Ralph. Staying with the saloon cars, your AU VT champion, Grant Johnson. Let's move to something a little different, and tonight it's my pleasure to welcome our Radical SR3 champion, Adam Lyle. The Formula 1000 2021 title belongs to Gianni Luzzu. And now let's celebrate the 2021 Sport Sedans champion for WA, Ryan Humphrey.
Yeah, g'day, Ryan Humphrey. Lucky to win the 2021 Sports and WA Championship. Massive thanks to everyone involved and all the volunteers and promoters that had to go so far out of the way to keep it running through all the COVID issues. Hopefully, we can have a 2022 as good as our 2021. We were lucky enough to race over a couple of states, 4 different tracks, winning on each of them. The team this year have just gone above and beyond, especially Alan, Matt and Jody flying around interstate with us. My mum and my dad just always helping out to no end, and my bro chipping in on race days, and my missus for just putting up with us. It's more of a lifestyle than a mad addiction. It's just 24 hours race car. Here we are, beautiful 40-degree day in WA in the shed, getting some stuff done. But yeah, massive thanks to so many people. It's been fantastic, and I hope next year's just as good. See you out there.
In the Streetcar Series, please congratulate Paul Cluck. Now, Paul has been kind enough to share this video acceptance speech with us this evening.
I'd like to thank Motorsport Australia for awarding me the 2021 Streetcar Racing Series. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the participating clubs at WA Sporting Car Club and Motoring Southwest, who through their officials, volunteers and sponsors enabled racing to occur in WA. I'd like to thank those who made sure my car was reliable during the year, and that includes Shannon at TuneCorp, my fantastic pit crew who turn up every race meeting and make it a fun day. And I'd also like to thank the Streetcar Racing Association, who are committed to providing a platform where competitors can develop their cars and have fun racing together. And I must thank the sponsors for the Streetcar Racing Association for 2021, and that includes Freight Shop, Eurospec, Valor Finance and Total Vet Care. Of course, I must thank my wife, who's supported me through my racing endeavours over the years, and of course my friends that turn up on track and make it a fun day, as well as supporting the bar, which I'm sure they're appreciative of. I look forward to racing in the 2022 season and look forward to seeing you on track then. See ya.
Our next champion, please join me in congratulating Wayne Hasty, the Streetcar Series under 2060 class. The sports car champion for 2021 is next, and it's well done to Arthur Abrahams. Arthur too has been generous enough to share a video message with everyone tonight.
Motorsport Australia for making this video presentation possible. Very strange times indeed. It's been a really challenging 2 years for everybody, and finally we're coming out of it. Hopefully we see a normal racing season this year. It's been a great pleasure to win the West Australian Motor Racing Championship. Last time I won a championship was 1993, yikes. And then I had a 27-year break from the sport. Special thanks to Brett Lupton and all the Fast Lane Racing crew for their tireless efforts. And a very, very special personal note of gratitude to Eric Pender for all his work this last few years to help me. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you, Arthur. Now let's move to Formula Ford. Our Formula Ford's gold champion for 2021, Craig Jorgensen.
Hello, I'm Craig Jorgensen. I would like to thank Brett Lupton and the entire Fastlane Racing team for their support and for providing me with such a great race car. Thank you to my family, and a special thank you to Adrian for all his help over the past few years. It's been a pleasure racing with such a great bunch of people, and I look forward to more of the same this year. Finally, thank you to the car clubs, volunteers and officials. Without them, none of these events would be possible. Thank you.
Next, I'm proud to welcome our 2021 Formula Ford Silver Champion, Glenn Swarbrick.
I'd like to thank Motorsport Australia for this award. I'd also like to thank my fellow competitors for a great season of great competition. Looking forward to next year, we have a lot more historic Formula Fords coming out to join us, and it should be great competition for all of us. And looking forward to next season with great enthusiasm. Thank you.
Well done, Glenn. Now for a very competitive category. It's time to announce the 2021 WA Hyundai XL champion, Brett Sheriff. Now it's time for a series of awards to a category that's very close to my heart. Let's now celebrate our improved production winners for 2021. Starting with the improved production over 3 litre champion, Ruben Romkeys. The improved production under 3 litre champion, Gary Edwards. Your 2021 improved production under 2 litre champion, Ronald Coote. And the 2021 improved production under 1600cc winner, Tim Riley. Well done to you all. Now let's take a look at the Formula V champions for Western Australia. Our 2021 Formula V 1600 winner, David Casely. And our Formula V's 1200 champion for 2021 is Brett Scarey. Our next award is proudly presented to the winner of the NA, NB, NC Historic Touring Car Overall Champion. Tonight, I'm delighted to say that your winner is Kono Onofaro. Staying with the historics, our historic racing car champion for 2021. Please congratulate Martin Bullock. Let's hear all about Martin's fantastic win with this video message sent in by Martin.
In accepting this award, I have to thank my fellow racers and the entire Formula Classic community here in WA for making it such a great year. Not only for the racing, but also the fantastic social side we enjoy within this group. I would also like to thank our extremely experienced and talented members who are enormously generous with their time, skills and advice. Our racing cars can be both old and complex, and this assistance and advice has been essential both to me and many others and in the continuing success of our category. I'm with the car that brought me this award, and for those interested, it is a Chevron B20 Formula Atlantic car built in 1972, but currently running both in full livery and technical specifications as it did in 1974, competing then in the Canadian Formula Atlantic Championship. Thanks again to Motorsport Australia for producing this award, and all the very best to you all for some great racing in 2022.
Thank you, Martin. Next up, it's a pleasure to announce our contemporary free Formula Race Car Champion for 2021. And tonight, please give it up for Simon Alderson. And our 2021 Historic Regularity Overall Champion, Jamie Scott. Finally, our last award for the 2021 WA Motor Race Championships goes to our Modern Regularity Closed Car Champion. It's Adam Ewing. Well done to all of our winners tonight. A fantastic season for so many of you. Now for an annual tradition at our state awards, we are delighted to acknowledge our newly affiliated clubs for 2021. A very warm welcome to 2 clubs joining the Motorsport Australia fold. MX5 Racing WA Inc. and the West Coast Car Club Inc. Staying with our amazing clubs, it's time to acknowledge some impressive work undertaken in 2021 at the state level. And it was a milestone year for a handful of our loyal clubs. Ashenden First Intervention Inc. celebrating 10 years. And the Competition Drivers Club of WA, an incredible 50 years. Well done on a superb milestone. And thank you to all of our clubs for your ongoing support in 2021. Speaking of milestones, it's now my honour to announce a handful of awards that celebrate those who go above and beyond. Those who do the little things behind the scenes, give up so much of their time. We all know them, those who make events run like clockwork and make life as simple as it can be for our competitors. Tonight, we'll be announcing our Service Award winners and 1 Service Star winner. So it's my pleasure to welcome Daniel Rogers as our 2021 Service Award recipient. Daniel has provided continuous, diligent service to motorsport since his early teens, when he first joined the committee of West Australian Off-Road Racing Association at 14 years of age. From club activities and events right through to Australian Championship events, he has officiated events in every state of Australia except Tasmania. A quest of continual improvement sees him continue to work within club, his discipline and Motorsport Australia. Terrific effort and well done, Daniel. Now, let's announce our Western Australia 2021 Service Star winner. Would you please join me in congratulating Colin Arkle. Colin has demonstrated a significant contribution to motorsport as an official, commencing in 1968. His commitment to undertake a large variety of roles from stewarding and stage commander through to behind-the-scene roles in preparing and maintaining equipment vital to our sport has earned him the respect of both officials and competitors. Colin has been a part of Rally Australia WRC teams that have performed mentoring and support roles internationally, specifically in China and Japan. In each of these instances, Colin earned the respect and friendship of the local officials, despite language and other challenges in such roles. Colin's involvement also extends to grassroots levels of our sport, often on short notice. Colin is always willing to assist fellow officials, whether newcomers or visiting representatives from Motorsport Australia and the FIA. Well done, Colin, richly deserved.
I'd like to thank those who nominated me and also my wife, who's been supporting me for the 50 plus years of motorsport in WA. She supported me all the way through my motorsport career here in WA, particularly with Telstra Rally Australia when I was the stage commander and looked after the road closures, issuing out uniforms, and in latter years with Targa West we were going around the stages checking for bunting, tagging and where road closures should be, and that took up most of our weekends. I'd also like to thank the other officials who helped me and I've to work with in WA, New South Wales and Victoria, and the team which went up to Rally Japan in Hokkaido for four odd years. I'd also like to thank the stewards who I've worked with for 45 plus years. I've enjoyed every moment of being a Motorsport Australia official, and you don't volunteer to do this sort of work for what you can get out. But I'd like to thank all those who have helped me. Once again, I'd like to thank those who nominated me, and in particular, my wife. Thank you very much.
Now it's time to announce one of the most sought after state awards each year. Let's reveal our 2021 State Event of the Year. It gives me great pleasure to reveal tonight's winner. Would you please congratulate the Albany Classic Motorsport Club and Vintage Sports Car Club of WA for its award-winning event, the Burson Auto Parts Albany Classic Around the Houses 2021. The Albany Classic Around the Houses is a community motorsport festival held annually since 1991 on the WA Day weekend, with the Mount Clarence Hill Climb on Saturday and the main event on Sunday being the historic Around the Houses Motorsport Regularity Trial as a centrepiece attraction. The Vintage Sports Car Club of WA and the Albany Classic Motorsport Club organise the event. The event involves some 200 plus volunteers, mostly from Albany and the surrounding region, with assistance from other volunteers from Perth. The two motorsport events attracted 150 plus entrants from across WA. Attendance was estimated at 10,000 spectators for the Sunday event. This unique historic motorsport event and festival continues to grow in popularity and is now one of the premier tourism events in the Great Southern Tourism calendar. The event injected much needed dollars into the local economy during the winter off-peak tourism season and provided a much needed boost following on from the COVID-19 pandemic. The Albany Classic is the premier regularity motorsport event in WA, and along with Northam represent the only remaining around the houses events held anywhere in Australia. Albany was the origin of this style of motorsport dating back to 1936, and the Albany Classic continues this tradition.
Thank you for recognising the Albany Classic. It is an iconic event reenacting the original Around the Houses racing at its birthplace in Albany, starting in 1936. This event is jointly organised by the Albany Classic Motorsport Club and the Vintage Sports Car Club of WA. We have been running this together since 1991. An event like this takes a massive effort to put on. We have in excess of 160 volunteers to assist us, and of course we have our major sponsors in Burson Auto Parts, the City of Albany and Tourism WA.
Hi, Glenn from the Albany Classic Motorsport Club. Just want to say thank you for Motorsport Australia for awarding us the West Australia Event of the Year. We're so proud. We are honoured to get this award. We think it's a fantastic event. We love the event. It's all volunteers that run the event. It's just a great event. I'd like to thank our major sponsors. Without them, the event can't happen. The Burson's Albany Classic ran absolutely fantastic this year, so thank you again, and a special thank you for especially our volunteers. Without the volunteers donating machinery and everything, this event would not happen without them. So thank you very much.
A terrific event. Well done to everyone involved. Finally, it's my honour to announce the 2021 Western Australia State Official of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, for your 2021 State Official of the Year, it's David McDonald. David has shown outstanding dedication to assisting motorsport events in the state during 2021. He has, in fact, contributed in a similar way for many years. During 2021, he has acted in the capacity of road closure or control official at all state championship rallies and the Targa West Rally. He has acted as a timing official and assisted with course setup and takedown at all state Motorcarna championship events, and has acted as timing official at autocross and carnacross events held in the state. Many of these events he has assisted on the same weekend, which involved travelling from a country location back to the city at night to attend another event early the next morning. He is highly regarded as a valuable contributor to our sport, and his service is greatly appreciated. Now, David was unable to send in a video, but he did provide these words of gratitude to share with you all. I'm a bit embarrassed to be receiving this award, as I'm sure there are many officials worthy of its presentation. I'd like to acknowledge a number of people who have been instrumental in my journey in motorsport. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge my wife, Rosalind, who has been my chief supporter throughout the years. My first encounter with speed was as a spectator at the Caversham circuit for the running of the Australian Grand Prix in 1957. The winners were Lex Davison and Bill Patterson. Second was Stan Jones, and third, Jack Brabham. Around 1969, the late Rodney van der Straten invited me to watch a Motorcarna at Maylands Aerodrome. Ross Dunkerton in a VW was one of the competitors, complete with a 22 on the back shelf. This started a long association with the Mini Car Club and our first rally in 1969. We got hopelessly lost, but were put right by Phil Myers, who was also competing. If I remember correctly, Tom and Carol Snooks were there too in a Colt Fastback, with the kids asleep on the back seat. How times have changed. Much of my time in rallies was with Jim Newell and Alan Steen. I also competed in numerous Motorcarnas, often in one of Jim's specials, as well as autocross, carnacross and rally sprints. Having had so much enjoyment in motorsport, I like to feel I can put something back. And I've tried to do this by helping in various events for a number of clubs, especially the wonderful people in the Mini Club, Southwest Touring Car Club, Bormser, and on occasion the Light Car Club. We do road closures for nearly all rallies every year. I hope to continue as an official into the future. Thanking you, David McDonald. WA Motorsport is certainly in good hands if tonight is anything to go by. Now, if you've missed any of the awards this evening, I am pleased to say these award ceremonies will be available to watch on demand at any time on the Motorsport Australia website, as well as the Motorsport Australia YouTube channel. Both addresses are on your screen now. It's a very special thank you now to the entire team from Motorsport Australia behind the scenes here at Motorsport House that have helped put together tonight's event. As I said off the top of tonight's ceremony, they'll be working tirelessly to make sure that we can meet in person next year to celebrate the successes of 2022. It's been a huge year of motorsport in 2021. We're underway into 2022 and I can't wait to see what the rest of the year has in store for you all. Well, I've really appreciated the privilege of being your Master of Ceremonies tonight. Thank you one and all from everybody here at Motorsport Australia. We'll see you next year.